Another year, other patch. Terran is still losing power. Will the nerfs ever end? The balance has been shifted to Protoss. Broken, defeated, and most Terran influencers gone. RuFF still stands against the overlords. Will the people finally wake up to the facts and statistics? Find out next patch in StarCraft 2.
So yeah, let's go over it. Okay. Now before we get into that, before we get into the tournament stats and how bad the tournament stats are with how imbalanced Protoss is, let's look at this real quick, which is the StarCraft Live player base. And here is the live player base stats. So we're going to bring that up real quick. And we're going to scroll down, right? And we're just going to look at the graphs, okay? Ever since this last patch came out, StarCraft 2 has literally plummeted, okay? As you guys can see, it like literally plummeted. The loss is way down, right, when it comes to the stats with the player base. As you can see here, literally starting in February, because this is when the tournaments started really kicking in, and this is also when Protoss started abusing the energy thing on the Nexus, like hardcore, for like free scouting and phoenixes and shit like that. And obviously that last game you saw it with the Templar, how he kept giving the Templar energy over and over again to Psystorm my Vikings as I was trying to attack into him. So he just warping a Templar after I EMP'd everything. I was like really good about it. And then I'm like, yeah, I got him. And then he just warps in a Templar, gives it energy, fires again, you know. It's kind of ridiculous, especially when it comes to the late game. So you can see the tournament, you can see the stats in the player base just plummeting, right? When it comes to StarCraft. And this, I'm going to be honest, dudes, it's sad, okay? I don't want this to happen to StarCraft. But the people that are balancing game are not addressing it, okay? And the way that they're addressing it is they still want to nerf Terran, okay? They still want to nerf Terran. That's the funny thing about it. And they still want to buff Protoss. Okay? So keep that in mind. How delusional they fucking are. But yeah, you know, right here, these are real stats, real facts. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and we're going to jump straight into the tournaments. Alright? So when it comes to the tournaments, right, here you have the stats. This is on Discord. Okay, so I'm not going to click into the actual like Reddit and Wikipedias and things like that. I'll bring them up if you can't see it on here. But we're just going to click on tournaments. And these are like the past like 6 months, okay, of tournaments. So you can see here, all the green is Protoss, by the way. More than 50%, okay? More than 50% are Protoss. Another one, more than 50% are Protoss. And just look as we continue to go through this stuff. Let me see. This one is okay, so I got to bring this up on another site here. Now keep in mind, I'm actually banned on Reddit. I don't know why I'm banned on Reddit. I'm banned on Reddit because I pointed out facts earlier and people got butthurt because I wasn't nice about it. So I'm banned on Reddit. But as you can see here, even more tournament stats. And I'm going to go down this list, and it is a really fucking long list. Okay? This is like almost all the tournaments. It's all, they all look like this. Okay? All of them. Okay? Literally all of them look like this. It's crazy. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. All right. Same thing here, right? Same thing here. Look at all these Protoss players everywhere. You don't even have to like count. You just see it's like 50% or more. Like every time you look at these things. Right? So let's go over here. We're going to scroll down. We're going to check out some more. Look at that. Protoss, Protoss. Protoss. All the green. All the green. And by the way, Protoss is winning most of these tournaments. Okay, these are weekly tournaments. All the green. Weekly tournaments. Green. All this green of Protoss everywhere. Just flooded in all these tournaments. Okay? These are all different tournaments. I'm bringing them up quick, guys. Okay? Because this is a long-ass fucking list. And it's all Protoss. Okay? That one, this one is not as bad. Okay? But it's still... Oh, that was the lower bracket, so that doesn't count. Yeah, so Protoss, all Protosses, lower bracket, knocking out Terrans, mostly Protosses, mostly Protosses, mostly Protosses. Okay. All right, so that's the end of that one, right? Okay, the weeklies are set. Let's take a look at actual tournaments. So these are the tier lists. And the tier lists get really, really imbalanced at A, B, and C. But we don't even go over B and C. We only go over S and A, by the way, when it comes to the tournaments. So I say S down to A, right? Because I don't want to go too deep into it. Because this is already a lot of tournaments. If you go into the B and C level of tournaments, it's even worse. It's like way more Protosses. It's crazy. So here, if you just look at the majority, I'm not going to click on all of these because there's just so many dudes. All right, there's so many, but we have it right here listed. All right, so if you go to these links, right, and if you just look at the stats yourself, you will actually see. So if I go over to this link, you will see that we have set it up to show you the pure number of how many Protosses to Terrans to Zergs that there are in all of these tournament stats. Okay? So, if we take a look at all of these, right, you're going to see mostly Protoss, majority Protoss, majority Protoss, alright? Okay, Terran and Protoss are even here. Barely Terran. This is S level, by the way. This is S level. Okay, so barely Terran in this one. Oh, these are two qualifiers. So this qualifier was even. This one, heavily Protoss. Alright, barely a little bit of Terran. Heavily Protoss. Alright, this one, about even. Alright, Protoss leading. So this is the S tier, okay? So the S tier, right? It's not so bad, but you got to understand that the Terran and Zergs are still behind in the S tier. There's still way more Protosses usually, and Protoss winners, okay, in all of these tournaments when you click on them. Now, if we go down to the A tier, it gets really bad. Like, it starts to get really bad once we start going down, okay? So A tier. 14 Protosses, 5 Terrans, 6 Zerg. 8 Protosses. You're going to notice it's going to be more than 50% Protosses in all of these tournaments. 7 Protosses. More than 50%. 50%. Very close to 50%. More than 50%. 50%. Close to 50%. Exactly 50%. What I'm doing here to keep it simple when I say like 50%, I'm adding the Zerg and the Terran together. So 4 plus 3 is 7 to the 7 Protosses, okay? So obviously 50% Protosses, right? So that's what I'm doing here. So you can see here more than 50% Protoss. close to 50% because it's off by 1. 50%. Close to 50%. Way more than 50%. 19 Protosses, 7 Terrans, and 6 Zergs. That's ridiculous. Look at this. Way more than 50%. More than 50%. More than 50%. More than 50%. Way more than 50% with this one. It's like almost like 66%. Same with this one. This one is like 66% also. Protosses. You can see just how fucking bad it's getting. Alright? Look at all of these tournaments, dudes. Protoss dominated. I don't think that there is a single A-tier tournament that isn't dominated by Protosses. These are all... Is there any that's even dominated by any other race? Every single A-tier tournament is dominated by Protoss. Yeah, these are all the A-tier tournaments. Every single A-tier tournament has all Protosses, mostly. Yeah, not a single one. The S-tier, there's a few with Terran in the lead. But the A-tier, all Protoss. Every fucking tournament. It's all Protoss. Okay? As you can see here. You see how many tournaments are listed here. We went really in depth with this, guys, when it comes to the stats and digging deep into the stats, okay? We went really deep into it. Alright? So, let's see here. 4 Protoss, 1 Terran, 4 Zergs. Alright. Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. And I even say here, it's like, it never ends. It never ends with how many tournaments are dominated by Protoss. Like, all of them. Every single tournament. It gets better, worse. Let me fully do out the A tier. He's not done yet. He's dropping more of them. Alright. Dominated by Protoss. These are all on Liquipedia, guys. You guys can look them up. Okay? I'm not going to click on every single one because, like, bringing up the actual brackets and stuff, we've laid it out for you all. The number of Protoss, Terran, and Zergs to keep it simple. Okay? So these are just very simple statistics for you guys to look at. Look here, still dominated by Protoss. Dominated. Oh, okay, this one's actually even. This one, heavily dominated. Yep. 50, like, more, like, most of these are still more than 50% are Protosses in here. Okay? Like, it is so fucking imbalanced at the moment. In this patch, in 2025. It's never been this imbalanced in any of the other previous patches. This is the first time it's been extremely imbalanced. And the reason for the imbalance is the easy access to free scouting that they're getting and the energy upgrade ability is making it near impossible. And then on top of that, the imbalance in the Tempest supply makes it so that the late game is busted so that you can't, like, win it all. Okay? You can't win a late game versus a Protoss that camps and makes mass Tempest. Because the Tempest, there's too much supply for how good the Tempest is. Okay? And you guys saw that in the last game we played. But yeah, it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. Like, just look at this. Look at this. 50%. 50%. You know, oh my god, it is so bad. Looking at all of these tournaments. Like, all of them are dominated by Protoss. All of them. Every tournament. Damn. Look at all of this. More than 50%. It's getting worse. The longer the patch remains out, because all the Protoss players are abusing it. Okay? Because they're understanding what to do, basically. And it's getting worse and worse and worse as they're adjusting to the meta. So you're seeing that it's becoming even heavier dominated by Protoss players in all of these tournaments, the longer this patch is staying out. Alright? Yeah, it's... Oh my god. It's so bad, dudes. It's so bad. Just like looking at all this. It hurts my Terran soul. It really does. And, you know, the funny thing is that a lot of people, they come out at me, right? A lot of these balanced whining Protosses on Reddit, they'll come at me and they'll be like, well, Terran is still overpowered and stuff. Every fucking tournament that is not S tier is heavily dominated by Protoss. And if you look at the S tier, majority of the tournaments are dominated by Protoss. Okay? That's the problem with this. You know? So, the Balance Council, with them wanting to release a patch, right? And with them wanting to release a patch that is purely buffing Zerg, okay? Nerfing Terran again while giving them a couple things back, and then buffing Protoss with like the Disruptor and Immortal, and like cutting down like 25 energy from the fucking energy recharge ability with how good it is when you're looking at these tournament stats. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay? And you know, I hate to say it, guys, but when you look at when I'm looking at Pig, Hearthstone, Loco, because apparently they are the faces of the StarCraft 2 community, and they're always doing the same fucking videos, circle jerking off the same videos and stuff like that on their YouTube channels, and constantly vouching for each other over and over and over again, and basically saying, we're gonna go with the Hearthstone stuff. And then Hearthstone gets so much flack that he deletes his Twitter account, you know, back in April, because of all this, and they're still trying to hemorrhage StarCraft at the way that they're going. It's the wrong way to do it, okay? It is literally the wrong way to do it. Why am I making a big fucking stink in 2025 about the balance? Here's the reason why, guys. Here's the reason why. Just look at all of the shit, okay? All of the tournaments. That's all you gotta do. This is the reason why. This. Look at all of these tournaments. This is the reason why I'm going after their throats, okay? This is the reason why. Alright? You know what the other reason why is? Let me show you what the other reason why is. Alright? Let me show you. Do you know why? Because it hurts my stream. Alright? When other people are quitting StarCraft. Okay? Because of this mumbo jumbo fucking balance bullshit. And they want to continuously cater the game to these EU Protoss players. Over and over and over again. Okay? And it's like, I know exactly what I'm doing. This is the big Terran ball of crap and stuff like that. Like, here's the facts. Here's the stats. Okay? For people that are complaining that Terran is still heavily overpowered. Oh, whoa, they're so overpowered right now. Look at all the Protoss tournaments. Look at the ladder when I'm playing the ladder. I bet you I can log back into StarCraft right now because I logged out of StarCraft, and I could look at my fucking stats and it'll say I play mostly versus Protoss. I guarantee you I could do that right now if I wanted to. Alright? So that's literally how bad it is. Okay? That's how bad it is. Alright? And once again, I'm going to bring this up for you guys. Okay? I'm going to once again bring this up. This, okay? This is not good, okay? It's not good for me. It's not good for Pig, Hearthstone, Loco, and all of them jerking around each other when it comes to the fucking balance. And they're so adamant on making Protoss so OP. and they still have this PTSD with Maru or something, where they think Terran is so fucking broken. PTSD or whatever. Okay? They literally have PTSD with Terran that they have to nerf Terran every goddamn fucking patch for the past, like, years. Years. I've been dealing with it for that long, guys. Do you know how bad it sucks to be a Terran player in StarCraft 2? And every single time a patch comes out, you just say to yourself, this is the one. This is the one where they're finally gonna do something for my race. Because they've been nerfing it for the past 4 years. Nope. 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 Exactly not. This is the reason, guys. Okay? This here. Okay. So, if they're watching this, please, for the love of God, for your own fucking channels in StarCraft, and for the fun of the game, stop buffing Protoss and stop nerfing Terran. For the love of God. Okay? I'm just saying this to those influencers out there. Stop fucking doing it. Stop making tier 1 gameplay the meta so everybody can just A move and stuff, okay? I'm seeing it in the patches too, with trying to make the Raven have an auto attack, to see the Viper have an auto attack, making it boring and fucking ease of use for A movie spammers, okay? Make the game more strategy based. Strategy game, RTS, real time strategy. You got it? This is not a fucking MOBA. This is not Warcraft in space. Okay?
This is not Warcraft in space.
Okay? This is not Warcraft in space. Okay? Stop taking the strategy away from the game. Stop constantly nerfing my race. Okay? Because I'm getting fucking annoyed with it now. To the point that I'm making a big fucking stink about it. Why I'm banned on Reddit? Because of these soy drinkers? I don't know why. Oh, there's another thing, guys. There's another thing. I forgot about it. I have something here. This is going to be interesting, by the way. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Streamers! Streamers. They even censor me, okay? They're even censoring me, which is actually kind of funny. You know, this is the thing that it's kind of annoying, right? When I think about it. It's kind of like really fucking annoying when I think about it. But yeah, over here too. Alright, so take a look at this, read this, right? So there's a website, right, that talks about like streamers in StarCraft. Who still streams in StarCraft 2? Definitely not RuFF. Definitely not RuFF. You know, like, I would say probably half of these guys, there's more viewership on this channel than half of these guys, but they keep me away for a reason, because I expose these things with hardcore facts and truths, and they don't like how I take the approach to it, okay? They don't like how I come out and I just say it as it is, because they all get butthurt about it, okay? They literally all get butthurt about it when I talk about anything balance, because I literally shoot out all the facts, okay? I literally shoot out all the facts here. So, guys, for one, they probably don't like me because I'm one of those guys on the internet that talks about like red pill shit and does crypto, and then there's like this jealousy shit and whatnot. But I mean well for StarCraft, okay? Everybody has different kind of personalities, alright? My personality is rough, okay? All the puns intended there. If he can't handle it, then honestly, you're not a man, okay? Because you're a little baby that can't handle like shit on the internet. Either you enjoy my opinion or you don't like my opinion, right? It's really that simple. If you don't like my opinion, you don't watch, right? Why would anybody get butthurt about anything that I say? The only reason is because they're jealous or something. Okay, like if I'm making a post on my X feed, and people get pissed off because I'm showing myself working out, doing weights and stuff, and then I have other streamers attacking me, okay, because they're like, you're not the strongest, RuFF. Like, it's just a jealousy fucking thing, okay? Nothing should ever get anybody butthurt at all. Same thing if I like ban you in chat or block you because you're talking shit about me, and then you get your viewers to attack me. Right? I'm not throwing out names. You guys know who they are. Okay? And then you're trying to gaslight me into playing a tournament and making me pay my own money up for a tournament, and then you're sicking your guys on me and stuff. Like, I don't have to waste my fucking time on that shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay? That's the funny thing about it, right? It's like, I don't give a fuck. If this guy wants to claim he is like the greatest messiah in the fucking world, let him. If these guys wanna gaslight me into a tournament and I decline and they're like, well, you're a pussy, RuFF, or whatever, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? No, those are the people that give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about everything in StarCraft 2 with me. Look, guys, I personally don't look for drama. The drama comes to me. Okay? It always comes to me. And the funny thing is, when I actually stand up for something and I talk about it, the drama still just comes to me. All right? I don't have to point out anybody. They all flock to me automatically. All right? Because they fucking hate it. They hate what I'm saying. They're mad about it. They're jealous about something. It doesn't matter. Right? So, and you know what makes them even angrier? Telling the truth and shooting out real facts. Okay? That's what. So, when I shoot out real tournament statistics, when I'm shooting out real analytics, when I'm shooting out truth bombs and I don't give a fuck, I don't have anything to worry about. Or the viewbotting issue. Dude, it's called beating the algorithm. You know when people type in on Google, like StarCraft 2 live stream, you know who comes up? Me. Suggestions come up because of a good friend that told me how to beat the algorithm on YouTube. That's the funny thing about it. And you can only do that with Google, by the way, or anything Google related. You can't really do that with Twitch. So, I find it funny that they all keep coming and they cause me problems. Alright? But here's the thing. You have nothing to worry about if you're telling the truth. But you know what pisses people off the most on the internet? When you tell the truth. Okay? So, I don't know how to say this, guys. I'm throwing out the tournament facts. I'm throwing out everything as much as possible. Right? I don't have any ill intent toward anybody, but I can tell you, if I see like someone like Hearthstone make a video and he says, the mine is a problem, we need Colossus buff, we need EMP nerfed, we need this, and he gets everything that he wants, of course I'm going to point it out. Here is the facts. Here is the patch that came out. Here is him getting everything that he wanted. Here is the EU Protoss balance patch of 2025 that has been granted upon thee, that has been destroying StarCraft, okay? So, I hate to say it, you know. Here's the thing. If the truth... there's a saying. Let me see if I can find that saying, actually. This is going to be funny. This is going to be funny. Hold on. This is going to be a cool thing. Let me see if I can find it. There is something here. Where is it? There was a meme that I posted, and I love the meme. Yes, here's the meme, guys. To offend a strong man, tell him a lie. To offend a weak man, tell him the truth. I'm telling them the truth. They're all weak if they're pissed off about it. It's really that simple. Right. That's all I've got, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the spill of data and the rant that ended up happening. You know, it is what it is. It is real stats, okay? And I don't need to be the best in the world. I don't really give a shit if my rank goes up in StarCraft, okay? What's important is, am I having fun playing StarCraft? Okay? Or am I getting frustrated because I think the game's unfair and I see a fucking Phoenix in my base every 20 seconds? I see these mass Tempest with mass shield battery cannon Templar in the late game. I can't do anything about it, right? Because the game's busted and imbalanced at the moment. They nerfed like planetaries and nerfed everything that's Terran. I literally can't do anything about it. I'm gonna get frustrated. You know what I mean? If I'm playing a game where it's like, oh, I made the mistake, right? Or, oh, I could have done this better. Or I took damage a little too early on, so I fell behind. I will acknowledge those things. You guys saw it today when I was playing in my games, right? Sometimes I fuck up, and I'll say that I fuck up. But when something's imbalanced, I'm going to point it out. Alright? I've been doing this a long time. I've been making builds for a very long time. If I cannot find a meta to break a certain balance in the game, then there's a problem. Okay? Because there's always a way, there should always be a way. Alright? I've always found a way in the past, but in this day and age, I can't find anything anymore. That's how busted the game is. Okay? So I'm hoping that we go in a better direction. I swear to God, if they come out with these reverts for Terran and then they nerf the shit out of them with like the armory and the Liberator getting nerfed and then the Ghost getting some kind of nerf on top of it with like some light tag or reduced HP or removing the bonus damage or whatever. If they do that shit, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Okay? Because they're not even looking at the tournament stats and they're not even thinking about you guys or the people that play the game. Alright? That's the problem. Right? They've already nerfed so many things.